Today we're taking a look at the Brooklyn Nets vs Boston Celtics match, which is happening on Saturday, May 22, 2021, and giving you my betting tips and predictions in general on this game. Welcome back to High Stakes. Let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos. And if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. 5 plans are available for each and every one of you. You can get 30 extra betting picks all the way up to 270 extra betting picks per month. Stop wasting hours and hours of your time searching the internet for some fake betting predictions and losing your money because of it. Join High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks and advices instantly. Jayson Tatum scored 32 of his whopping 50 points in the second half, and the Celtics rallied to beat the Washington Wizards 118-100 in the play-in round on Tuesday night. Believe it or not, this will only be 9th game this season when the trio of Kevin Durant, James Harden and Kyrie Irving will all be on the court for the Nets. Their chemistry may not be completely in sync, but they get a nice and easy exhibition round against the Celtics. The Nets swept the season series 3-0 and covered the spread as favorites in each game. The score went under the total in all 3 of the games as well. Kemba Walker added 29 points for Boston, which secured the 7th seed for the playoffs. They made a mid-season trade for Evan Fournier, but he had to endure a tough battle with COVID-19, which affected his fatigue and his shooting. He ended the season on a good note and was able to add a much-needed scoring punch, especially with Brown done for the season. Without Brown, I can see Fournier picking some of the slack up on offense, but the defense will drop off considerably, leaving the Nets to have very easy opportunities to score. Tatum will likely have the tall task of defending Durant, while also having to carry the load on offense. Coming off a 50-point game in the win against the Wizards during the play-in tournament, I expect Tatum will build on that momentum and expend most of his energy on the offensive end of the court at the expense of his defense. Underdogs off a game when their leading scorer had 50 points or more have gone 29-1, 69% to the over, per the SDQL database. The Nets compiled a spectacular regular season record, all the while missing most of their 3 superstars for much of the year. Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Kyrie Irving played together for a total of 8 games and 202 minutes. Durant missed games because of coronavirus health and safety protocols and a hamstring injury. Irving has made it a point to stick it to his former team, averaging 30.7 points in the 3 games he has played against them. While the Celtics have the pesky Smart that can defend some of the NBA's best guards, he won't be able to stop both Irving and Harden. Walker is not a great defender, and Brown's perimeter defense will be sorely missed against the stout Nets offense. The Nets finished the season going 39-31-2, 55.7% to the over this season, per the SDQL database. This was accomplished with an average total of 232, the second highest in the league behind the Wizards. They were 33-22, 60% to the over as favorites, and they typically dictate the pace. Even though it is the playoffs and the game typically slows down, I don't see this happening for the Nets. Since 2018, teams off 3 consecutive games with an assist-to-turnover ratio of 2.25 or greater are 140-84-6, 62.5% to the over, per the SDQL database. This is active on the Nets, who finished the last 4 games with an excellent assist-to-turnover ratio of 4.57, 3.0, 2.89 and 2.92. I expect the Nets offense to continue to click and put a lot of pressure on the thin Celtics defense. Brooklyn has been dynamic on the offensive side of the ball in 2021. They are second in the NBA, scoring 118.6 points per game, shooting at a league-leading 49.4% clip. They have amassed the highest offensive rating in the NBA at 117.3 and have an effective field goal percentage of 57.5. The same cannot be said about their defensive performance. They've given up 114.1 points per game, 21st in the NBA, and have struggled to generate turnovers, sitting 27th in steals per game. The defensive effort will have to exponentially increase if Brooklyn plans on hoisting an Eastern Conference crown. Irving missed time for personal reasons and because of a facial contusion suffered near the end of the season. Kyrie is facing his former team after a disappointing stint. In 2018, Irving told the Celtics fan base, "If you guys will have me back, I plan on resigning here." Then in July 2019, he signed with the Nets and teamed up with Durant. The Celtics will be giving special attention to Kyrie in this series. The Nets finished the season with the best defensive rating, 117.3, of all time, easily topping the 2019-2020 Dallas Mavericks 115.9. Keep in mind that this was with each of their stars missing significant time. Durant missed 37 games, Harden 14, and Irving 18. Imagine how frightening their offense would be at full strength. My first betting advice for that game is to pick Brooklyn Nets. The Celtics really struggled down the stretch, losing 10 of their final 15 games of the season. Coach Brad Stevens said having to respond was in line with a season in which they had to fight through multiple players being unavailable because of injuries and stints in the league's health and safety protocols because of COVID. "We've been through a lot, so we're hardened in a lot of ways," Stevens said to the Associated Press during a conference call. "We've been backs against the wall for most of the year. It takes a lot of togetherness and it takes staying together through tough times." The Boston Celtics stumbled their way into the play-in game in poor form as they lost 5 of their last 6 games of the regular season, but they are coming into this game with plenty of momentum after blowing past the Wizards in a 118-100 win on Tuesday. Jason Tatum led the way with 50 points on 14 of 32 shooting. Kemba Walker added 29 points while Tristan Thompson chipped in with 12 points and 12 rebounds off the bench. As a team, the Celtics shot just 39% from the field and 15 of 45 from the three-point line, but they relied heavily on the hot hand of Tatum on the offensive end, and they did a great job of holding the Wizards to just 3 of 21 shooting from the three-point line on the defensive end. The injury-riddled Celtics scored 112.6 points per contest on 46.6% shooting in the regular season. The C's scored less than 100 points 13 times this season, winning only one of those games. They have not been the same defensively as years prior with Coach Stevens. Boston will have their hands full without All-Star guard Jaylen Brown, who is out for the season with a wrist injury. Center Robert Williams remains questionable for the game with a foot injury and is a game-time decision for Saturday night. The Brooklyn Nets capped off the regular season with 5 straight wins to finish with the 2nd seed in the Eastern Conference. Kevin Durant played just 35 games in the regular season and came off the bench in 3 of those to finish with averages of 26.9 points, 7.1 rebounds and 5.6 assists per game. Kyrie Irving averaged 26.9 points, 4.8 rebounds and 6.0 assists per game, while James Harden put forth a strong case for MVP with averages of 24.6 points, 8.5 rebounds and 10.9 assists per game in the 36 games he played. As a team, the Nets scored 118.6 points per game while shooting 49.4% from the field and 39.2% from the three-point line. The Celtics are 9-4 ATS in their last 13 road games, 15-5-1 ATS in their last 21 conference quarterfinals games, and 4-9 ATS in their last 13 games overall. The Nets are 6-1 ATS in their last 7 home games, 1-7 ATS in their last 8 conference quarterfinals games, and 5-0 ATS in their last 5 games overall. My second betting advice for that game is to pick under 228. Good luck to all of you. That's it for this video. Stay tuned and stay safe for the next betting tips and advice.